The castle looms, sunlight streaming through the windows, as Roxana Enfield sits holding a baby. Julian Remigio approaches, his hand gently touching Tilly's hair. Roxana calls for her child, Thalia. Roxana smiles down at the sleeping infant. "This is your little sister, Loina." Tilly's grip tightens on Julian, so he asks, "Tilly?" She's clearly struggling with something. Tilly mutters to herself, thinking, "Damn it, you were born after all." She recalls, "Loina Remigio, my protagonist." Tilly's funny plushie falls to the floor with a plop. She sobs. Her father asks Tilly. Julian pulls her close, patting her gently. There, my sweet Tilly." He teases, "Are you jealous because mommy's holding your sister? You want mommy all to yourself, don't you?" Tilly, her face a mask of irritation, retorts, "What? You think I'm some child who would cry over being jealous of my little sister?" "Julian, you dummy." Julian tries to distract her. "Tilly, look." He makes silly faces, but Tilly remains unimpressed. She glares at him coldly. "Daddy, you're ugly. Go away." She angrily grabs his face, pinching his cheeks. "You think I gave you that handsome face just so you can wreck it like that? Stupid." Roxana laughs, holding the baby Loina. "Tilly, sweetie," she coos, "come here." Julian looks momentarily stunned. Tilly recalls her past life and also her work. Her inner monologue begins. Roxana Enfield and Julian Remigio. These two are characters that belong in my novel, and are the parents of Loina, the female protagonist. It was 4 years ago when she fell into this world, in the body of Thalia, the child of Roxana and Julian. When she opens her eyes, she saw Julian and Roxana. Julian had said, "Overwhelmed, Roxy, the baby is so tiny." Roxana gently chided, "Stop crying, Julie. You're a father now." Thalia wonders, "Roxy?" Julie, as she doesn't knew at that time about what happened. Julian asked again, "Wait, is it normal for a baby not to cry like this, Roxy?" When she first heard their names, she wasn't sure, but she soon realized that she was inside the world she had created in her novel. She remembers the story. In this story, there are 3 families that protect this world against evil spirits: the Imperial House of Acer, the Guardians, the Royal House of Celis, the Purifiers, and the House of Duke Remigio, the Healers. And the children born to the 3 families, Loina Remigio, Ryan Celis, and Regis Acer, are the protagonists of this story. As a writer, she was notorious for creating ill-fated characters. The female protagonist and the second male lead of this novel had a decent childhood, which was unusual for her characters. But that was only to emphasize the hardship that was bound to come in the future. Hence, though this story may lead to a happy ending, it isn't going to lessen the pain and suffering this little child will have to bear. So, she had desperately hoped till the very last moment that Roxana wouldn't give birth to a daughter and that her name wouldn't be Loina. Roxana asks Tilly, "Then, do you love me?" "I do," Tilly replies. Roxana asks, "How about Daddy?" "Yeah," she says, but Julian notices the hesitation. Just because Loina is born, Roxana says gently, that doesn't mean Mommy and Daddy will love you any less. It just means that you have more people in your life that you can love unconditionally. And Daddy, Loina, and I will love you just the same. The scene shifts again, this time to a blooming branch. Roxana asks Tilly, "Do you still not like Loina?" She says softly, "No, I do." "Then shall we say hi to Loina?" Roxana asks. Tilly peeks at the baby and quietly says, "Hi." Little Loina looks up at her big sister and a tiny smile spreads across her face. The family is together and happy. Tilly gently wipes Loina's mouth. Tilly thinks to herself, "All right. No matter how I try to deny it, you are the Loina that I love." Roxana and Julian are also characters that belong to a story I had created with care. The one who shouldn't have been born is not you, but Loina's sister, who was never a part of the original story. Tilly thinks, "Me." Later, Tilly was lounging around in the garden. She thinks to herself, "Maybe it's because I'm still 4 years old, but I feel drowsy all day long." Her dad finds her sleeping, "Sweetie, are you sleeping again? I saw you asleep as I was leaving this morning." Tilly just replies with a simple, "Yeah." She thinks to herself, "It's the middle of the day. Why did he get off work so early?" He suggests instead, "How about you play with Daddy? Perhaps a tea party?" At the tea party, Tilly asks, "Daddy, why did you come home so early?" He sweetly responds, "Well, I couldn't leave you all bored without me, Tilly." Tilly playfully warns, You're going to get yourself fired, Daddy. Her dad smiles. Oh, I couldn't wish for anything more. Tilly thinks, I brought this upon myself by making him a character who wants to quit his job as Prime Minister. Annoyed, she thinks he's always skipping work, disturbing my nap time, and yawns. Aegis assures her, actually, His Imperial Majesty let me leave early today, so it's all right. He told, I made a scene so that he'd let me come home early. Imagining that Tilly felt embarrassed. As Tilly thinks her father adds, wait, it's not what you think. But Tilly just says, yeah, okay. Aegis asks Tilly. As he pays attention to him, he asks, my dear Tilly, you're going to live with Daddy forever, right? Tilly wonders, forever. Suddenly, flashes of blood and death fill her mind. That night, in bed, Tilly says to her mother, so, Daddy bugs me sometimes, but I still think he's cute. Roxana laughs. Daddy sure can be cute sometimes. But then Tilly reflects, oh, but he said something strange today. Her mother repeats, something strange. She recalls, he asked if I was going to live with him forever. Her mother asks, and what would you like to do, Tilly? Tilly, now older, reflects, something must be going on. She declares, I'm going to live with you, Daddy, and Loina forever. Her mother says, sometimes, it's like you know exactly what to say to please others. Tilly thinks, well, I am an adult inside, Roxana. She asks, but why did Daddy suddenly ask me something like that? Her mother replies, the prince from a neighboring kingdom has to stay apart from the king for a long time. And I guess that made Daddy think of Tilly. Tills remembers the story, the imperious house of Acer, the guardians. The royal house of Celis, the purifiers, and the house of Duke Remitio, the healers. The heads of each blessed with special abilities, but fated to sacrifice their lives for the world. The heads of the three families were leaders, but only in name, and someone of a lower status in the family often held the power to rule. However, the current emperor, Acer, was an exception, as he managed to seize power through a bloody revolution along with Julian and Roxana. Unlike the empire that had taken a favorable turn, the kingdom of Celis remained just the same. With a king no better than a puppet, the one who holds all the power is Ryan's stepmother. Ryan, who is without a mother, is tormented by his stepmother, who would do anything to make her own son the crown prince. Come to think of it, it's around this time when the villain and male protagonist of this novel, Ryan Celis, arrives at the Empire. To protect his young son, the powerless king had no choice but to send Ryan to the Empire using his studies as an excuse. And that is how Ryan and Aegis got to grow up together, forming a strong bond. Although the two of them only spent about a year growing up together, it was the only time during his deprived childhood when Ryan was ever truly happy. Later, Tilly's father was busy in his work and thinks Ryan. I hear he's about Tilly's age. To be sending such a small child out of the country, he sighs. Are things really that bad at the kingdom? What went wrong? Suddenly, Tilly bursts into the room. Hi, Daddy. Her father smiles and asks Tilly, did you come to see Daddy? Tilly replies, yep. Let's play. He gets overjoyed. Wow, really? What would you like to play? Tilly dramatically declares, I have kidnapped your rabbit. You'd better do as I say if you want your hostage back. Her father gasps, huh? He cries, oh. Oh no. That poor, innocent rabbit. He asks her, what is it that I must do? Tilly commands, run. He asks, I beg your pardon? Tilly clarifies, warm up first, then run a lap around this manor. Got it. He is shocked. What? Here. He asks, I have a question. So, you're saying, Tilly interrupts, you may call me Demon Queen. He continues, yes, Demon Queen. First of all, who is that rabbit? Tilly replies, he's the prince of a neighboring kingdom. Her father asks, and why must I save the rabbit prince of a neighboring kingdom? Tilly explains, if you save the prince, you'll get to own the kingdom. He states, but I do not wish to own the neighboring kingdom, Demon Queen. Tilly suggests, then just give it to the prince. There's no harm in befriending the king of a neighboring kingdom. Her father looks at her without responding. She laughs, if you're willing to save your friend, I'll let you run a lap around the garden instead of the manor. He sighs, I guess I really do have to run a lap. Tilly says, that is correct, now hurry. He shouts, yes ma'am, as he begins his task. Meanwhile, Aegis is having tea with his mother. She thinks he's really just an innocent, angelic child at times like these, but Aegis's mother tells him, you may be meeting a new friend soon. Aegis asks, a new friend? From which family? His mother answers, well, she thinks he often tends to have these unchildlike thoughts. She answers, she is the daughter of Duke Remitio, a lovely young lady who's a year younger than you. Aegis smiles, you mean Tilly? His mother asks, do you know who she is? Aegis replies, yes, father told me last time. And with a huge smile, that she will be my bride. Outside the Remitio estate, a picture-perfect day. Inside, the family is gathered for a meal. Julian offers Tilly a bite, saying, Tilly, say ah. He then asks, sweetheart, would you like to visit the Imperial Palace with mommy and daddy? Tilly's immediate response? A resounding no. She munches thoughtfully then, huh? Where did that come from? Her parents exchange a look. Her mother tries to reassure her husband the engagement with the Imperial House isn't even confirmed yet. She smiles, it was only a passing remark from His Imperial Majesty, so don't worry too much. He replies, okay. Thalia thinks, W8, an engagement. Why would there be an engagement between the House of Duke Remitio and the Imperial family? This isn't a part of the original story. She thinks back to the original novel. In the original novel, Loina was the only successor of Duke Remitio. But now there are two successors, including myself. So, even if one of us gets married to the Imperial family, there's no issue when it comes to the succession. But Prince Aegis is the second male lead. He's had a crush on Loina ever since he was a child. Hence, I might create a serious family dispute in the future if I get engaged to Aegis. Just then her mother asks, Tilly? Thalia gulps. This isn't just some trip to see the Imperial Palace. Loina will become the Duke's successor once her special ability is realized in the future. Then, a noble daughter like myself without any abilities would make a perfect match as the Imperial Prince's bride. She trembles thinking, but I don't want to be an empress. All I wanted was to receive a decent sum of inheritance and live a happily ever after single life. Besides, an engagement with a 5-year-old kid. Her internal alarm bells are going off. Also, I can't let the story alter any further from its original plot. Thalia? Thalia's mother calls to her. Thalia asks, do I have to go to the Imperial Palace? No, honey, you don't, Roxana says, reassuringly. Julian also nods. We won't force you to go if you don't want to go. We just wanted to introduce a new friend to you at the Imperial Palace. That's all. Thalia replies, fine. This is the last time though. She resolves, Aegis is bound to fall in love with Loina anyway. I'll take this opportunity to make him hate me. They wouldn't force us to get married against our own will, would they? She chuckles. I'll make him never want to see my face again. Making a 5-year-old boy cry is gonna be a piece of cake. A few days later, at the Empress Palace, Thalia stands tall. Pleased to meet you. I am Thalia of the House of Duke Remitio. The Empress and Julian immediately gush over her. What? What is it? Thalia flinches as Empress tries to grab her hands. The Empress apologizes, dear me. My apologies, Lady Thalia. You were just so small, adorable, cute, and lovely that I couldn't help myself. Thalia deadpans, yeah. I'm cute. Used to it. The Empress suggests, let's take our seats. Roxana replies, yes, Your Imperial Highness. As Thalia eats a strawberry, her parents and the Empress are absolutely smitten. Julian asks, Tilly darling, are you enjoying the strawberries? Thalia responds, yes, I'm going to have your strawberries too, Daddy. Prince Aegis, who's sitting beside her, offers her a strawberry. Thalia thinks, wow. He smiles sweetly here. You can have mine as well. Looking at him, Thalia thinks to herself, how can someone's eyes be so blue? He looks just like a doll. Thalia takes the strawberry. Thank you. Aegis beams upon hearing that. She thinks, so, this baby doll will later grow into a 6'2" cutie, huh? I can't believe it. The Empress notices the bright smiles on Aegis' face and says softly, I heard that Peleus spoke of an engagement to you the last time. My apologies, the Empress says. I did mention that it would be nice if the two were to become friends, but I had no idea he would suggest an engagement. I've spoken to Peleus on the matter, so I ask for your kind understanding. Julian laughs. You have nothing to apologize for, Your Imperial Highness. We didn't think Peleus was serious about the suggestion either. The Empress tries to speak, but Julian continues, it is too soon to discuss such matters. For now, I hope these two can become good friends. Roxana nods and Tilly said inwardly, way to go, Julian. Polite but to the point. The Empress takes a breath of relief. Then Aegis asks, are Thalia and I not getting married? Thalia chokes. He's already thinking about marriage? Julian replies, someday, you should marry someone you truly fall in love with, your Imperial Highness. But Aegis counters, but father said, it would be ideal for the Imperial family to unite with the House of Duke Remigio. Tilly thinks in her mind, I don't think that's something a child should worry about. His mother agrees, he's right, Aegis. You should marry someone you love. Aegis began, but people said. The Empress quickly cuts him off. Aegis, you may miss out on meeting the love of your life if you concern yourself too much with political matters. Aegis presses, then, can I marry Thalia if I love her? The Empress smiles, not exactly. Only once Lady Thalia loves you back can you get married. Aegis beams at Thalia. Thalia says flatly, you're not my type. She declares, so I'm never going to marry you. Everyone gets shocked. Aegis is shocked. But I even gave you my strawberry. Will you still not marry me? Thalia thinks, dear Lord, that was a proposal strawberry? Aegis is still trying to get Tilly to marry him. I even gave you my strawberry. Will you still not marry me? She replies, would you like me to spit it back out? Tilly is having none of it. In her mind, being cute doesn't mean you can have everything go your way, kid. Before she can say anything else, Tilly's mouth is covered by her mother. Roxana says internally, geez, she acts just like Julie. Like father, like daughter, huh? She instructed Tilly, that's not was to speak to a friend. Muffled, Thalia Saya, he's not my friend. Roxana turns to Aegis's mom and says, please excuse us for a moment. The Empress replies, act right. Aegis' mom looks nervous as they walk away. As they walk away, Tilly's mom thinks, I wonder why Tilly doesn't like hanging out with children her age. She only likes playing the Demon Queen. Her mother calls out Tilly. Kneeling down, her mother tells her, Mommy will never force you to marry someone if you don't want to, even if it's the Imperial Prince. Tilly responds, I know. Her mother asks, if so, then why are you being so grumpy? His Imperial Highness just wants to be friends with Tilly, that's all. But Tilly's not convinced. He's kind of weird. I shouldn't have come to the palace. Her mother adds, the Imperial Prince is different from the other children. People don't treat him as Aegis, the child, but only as the Imperial Prince. He may have a lot of friends, but none of them are real friends. That is why Her Imperial Highness, Dad, and I arranged for the two of you to meet. Because neither of you have true friends. Tilly thinks, I know. That Aegis didn't have any friends prior to meeting Ryan. And that he gave up on Loina and even put his life on the line for Ryan. All because he was the only friend Aegis had in this world. Looking at her mom, Tilly asks, did you think we could be friends because we're children of the 3 families that possess special abilities? Or is it that you think we should become friends? Tilly smiles and declares, Mommy, I'm not some clueless little child. Her mom felt a throb thinking, it's that strange look again, Tilly. Her mother asks, so, do you not wish to become friends with the Imperial Prince? Tilly replies, not having friends doesn't make me lonely. She says internally, no matter how many good friends I make, they'll never be real to me. To me, this world is. She pauses, then continues, but if Aegis is lonely, I can be his friend. Later, Aegis, looking sheepish, says, I'm sorry, Thalia. Tilly asks, for what? Aegis stammers, for asking you to marry me because I gave you a strawberry. Even if you don't want to marry me, can we still be friends? Tilly chuckles, well, now, that's super cute. She grabs a strawberry and offers it to Aegis. Here, say ah. He ate it and Thalia smiles. Aegis is flustered. He hesitates for a moment, then says, if you don't mind, may I call you Tilly? Looking pleased, Tilly responds, then, I'll call you Aegis too. Aegis beams, and the adults are all smiles, but Tilly is already regretting her decision. Ugh, I just want to go home. 2 months later, Aegis and Thalia were sitting in a study. While Aegis reads, the fairy godmother gave Cinderella a pair of glass slippers. Meanwhile, Thalia sits there bored and thinks, who is it that made Aegis into such a boring prince? She realizes, me obviously, damn it. We've been hanging out for 2 months already. And all we do is eat snacks, take walks, and read storybooks. It's a cycle that never ends. Is it boring? Aegis asks, is it boring? Tilly lies, oh, it's not that. You can keep going. But he pouts, you already know how to read books on your own. She denies it. No, I don't. He counters, last time, you helped me read a word I didn't know how to read. Tilly thinks to herself, TSK, he noticed. She replies, I don't remember, keep going. Aegis continues reading. Cinderella danced with the prince, wearing her glass slippers. Thalia thinks to herself, although I'm the author of this novel, I never really thought about the kind of fairy tales that would exist in this world. So I guess they were replaced with the ones I know. I mean, Cinderella? Aegis suddenly says, I also want to dance with you. Tilly is surprised. Dance? Aegis affirms, yes, dance. I just started taking dance lessons, and my teacher said that I was quite good at it. Tilly responds, okay, but I don't know how to dance. Aegis smiles. Then, would you like me to teach you? Then he begins, Let's see. Aegis is excited. I'll go ask them to prepare what we need. She replies, okay. Tilly thinks, I was wondering why he chose Cinderella. But I guess it was because he wanted to dance with me. How cute. She chuckles, I myself have mastered all kinds of dance moves since I was a K-pop idol fangirl in high school. I even handled K-pop sync choreography, so dancing with a child is gonna be easy peasy. Suddenly she felt dizzy and remembers her past life, where people were laughing, hey, that was such a long time ago. Remember how you tripped and fell? Mir, you remember that, don't you? Aegis interrupts Tilly. Aegis is ready. It's all ready now. Let's go. Tilly replies, okay. But when they arrive, Tilly is shocked. What? What's all this? It's a beautiful day at the estate. A pianist sits at a white grand piano in the garden and a painter is ready to make a canvas. But Tilly is not amused. She asks, I thought we were going to dance. Aegis replies, we are. Tilly is confused. What's all this then? Aegis explains, well, I asked my dance teacher and prepared the piano, but then my mother said she wanted to watch us dance. Tilly looks shocked. She even brought a painter? The Empress asks, I'm sorry, Tilly. Did I surprise you? Tilly responds, no, but... The Empress cut, the thing is, I told your fathers that I was going to watch you two dance, and they all got jealous, complaining that it wasn't fair. Aegis' mother smiles, amused. Tilly thinks, yeah, I can imagine. The Empress adds, so, I wanted to capture the two of you dancing together on canvas, if that's all right with you. The painter stands ready with his easel. She assures them, you won't have to stay in one position for a long time. Feel free to move around. Tilly sighs, thinking, who am I to blame? I'm the one who made them into these characters. She resignedly says, okay. The Empress smiles brightly, and Tilly took a sigh. Aegis also smiles and offers his hand. Tilly stares blankly ahead. Then they began. She recalls the scene a few moments ago. A maid presents Tilly with a new dress. Ta-da! My lady, how's this dress for today? It's a new one. Do you like it? Tilly, unimpressed, responds, yeah. Very babylike and pretty. Now she smirks, thinking, it's a matching outfit, huh? They were all in on this together. As the music starts, Aegis and Tilly begin to dance. As the lovely background music plays, Aegis smiles serenely. But Tilly looks at him blankly. But then, she stomps. Tilly exclaims, looking surprised, oh, I stepped on his foot. But Aegis grins widely. Tilly thinks to herself, stupid. Later, Aegis sits with a book in his lap and Tilly is beside him, hugging a stuffed bunny. I wonder if Tilly doesn't like me, Aegis thinks. She looks really frustrated at times, like right now. He turns to her and asks, shall we take a walk in the garden? Tilly replies, I don't really like walking. Aegis offers, I'll give you a piggyback. She pauses and then says, fine. Aegis gives Tilly a piggyback ride. While walking in the garden, he asks Tilly, She responds. Aegis continues, you said you have a little sister, right? She replies, yes, you mean Loina? He asks, what does she look like? Tilly responds, she has white blonde hair and purple eyes, just like me. Aegis says, she must be cute if she looks like Tilly. Tilly replies, well, I think she takes after mommy more than daddy. I look more like my daddy. Aegis responds, I hope she looks like you. Tilly says, yeah, she looks like me too. Aegis then confides, I used to wish I had a younger sibling. Tilly asks, you used to? What about now? Aegis smiles. Well, now I have you, Tilly. Tilly, annoyed, thinks, but I'm not your little sister. Aegis continues, you are younger than me though. Tilly retorts, I'm gonna turn 5 soon, just like you. Aegis counters, but I'm also turning 6 soon. Tilly, enraged, asks, what did you say? She shakes Aegis violently, this little brat. Eek! Aegis cries. Just then they fell. Aegis exclaims, Tilly, are you alright? Aegis smiles brightly, but Tilly is not having it. She asks irritated, are you giving me that dumb smile because I'm like a little sister? Aegis responds, kind of. Tilly retorts, then pick another friend and treat them as your younger sibling. Aegis stammers, and no, I said kind of. I didn't mean that I really wanted you to be my little sister. It's you that I like, Tilly, not my other friends. And I only ever smile like this in front of you, Tilly. He rambles, I mean, I do smile in front of the other friends as well, but what I'm trying to say is that. Tilly finishes, that you only like me? Aegis responds, yes. Tilly asks, why? Aegis replies, because you're just like me, Tilly. You're a Remitio. She says, you mean, because we're the children of the 3 families whom the people depend on? He nods, so Tilly asks, then, why do you hang out with your other friends? Aegis responds, because I have to. She questions, like how you have to go to school and study. He replies, yes. She sighs. Then he reaches for her hand and asks, do you hate me, Tilly? Tilly says, I don't hate you. She remembers, Aegis is the name of the most famous shield in Greek mythology. Aegis is a character who willingly chooses to become a shield to protect the people and those he loves. He is kind, polite, and upright. This has largely to do with his innate characteristics, but it is also because of the environment he was brought up in. A perfect prince you'd expect to see in fairy tales. Tilly clenches her fist. It can't be said that this thing is a bad thing, but it frustrates me, nonetheless. She looks at him and thinks, he's only just a little child. Is it right for me to make him sacrifice everything, just for the sake of the original plot? Or can I tell him that it's okay to be a little more selfish? Aegis asks, if it's not because you hate me, what's the matter? Tilly responds, it's precisely because I don't hate you that I don't know what to do with you. Aegis is silent. Tilly tells him, you're too little to understand, saying that she turns away. Later the carriage rumbles along the road, and inside, Tilly sighs, clutching her plush bunny. She took a sigh and thinks, geez, I got too worked up over a little kid. Her father looks over, concerned. A sigh? Did something happen? He asks Tilly, did you do anything special today? She replies, not really. Aegis gave me a piggyback. He perks up. He did? Are you happy to have an older brother, Tilly? He thinks everything seems okay. She asks, a hint of annoyance in her voice, why would you call him an older brother? Her father replies, well, he is a few months older than you. Tilly scoffs, hugging her bunny tighter. Yeah, right? A few months doesn't mean anything, she huffs. Her father chuckles. Why are you laughing? Tilly asks, clearly not amused. He responds, Aegis's father and I also used to bicker over who is older. She asks, well, who's older? He answers, I am, of course. She questions further, your birthday is faster than his? He replies, yes, by a whole month. Tilly says quietly, right? Then her father looks at her a little worried. Tilly, are you not fond of Aegis? She replies, no, I am. He asks, is there a reason? She replies, because he's cute. He smiles, amused. You sure take after mommy a lot. She asks, I do. Yes, like how you say those things with a straight face. He changes the subject. Oh, by the way, your portrait has been finished. She asks, my portrait? Oh, that. He gushes, the way you held your dress with your cute little fingers was adorable. Not to mention that gentle smile on your face, your glistening hair, and those priceless lavender-colored eyes clearer than crystal. He rambles on, but still, it's not even close to what you look like in person. He continues, so then, Peleus, I mean, His Imperial Majesty, and I got into this debate on who is cuter between you and Aegis. And he insisted that the debate can't be settled unless he sees how cute you are with his own eyes. His eyes widen. Ridiculous, right? Her father continues, anyway, Peleus wouldn't back down, so we decided to have a family gathering this weekend. What? Tilly exclaims, completely shocked. Meanwhile, in the palace, Peleus stands before a portrait of a young Aegis and Tilly. The emperor asks his wife, Lodi, what do you think of Julian's daughter? An angel, she replies softly. Peleus turns to her, grinning. Frankly, I didn't expect much from her. The empress scoffs. Yet, you suggested an engagement? He replies, like I said, it was just a passing statement. The empress sighs, gently brushing Aegis's hair. Aegis, I thought my son was the most mature child in the world. Flashback to the party. The people exclaimed, "Look at how well-mannered His Imperial Highness is. He's so mature. He is indeed the perfect Imperial Prince." A lady smiles at the Empress. "You must be so pleased, Your Imperial Highness." She thought, it was such a successful party. At least, that's what I thought. She asks Aegis, which friend did you like the most? Aegis answers, I favored Count Travels the most. She thinks, Count Travel. He's the Emperor's advisor, isn't he? Aegis adds, Father seems to keep close relations with the Count, and I thought it would be good to maintain that relationship as well, for the long term. Her eyes narrow. He's only a 5-year-old child, and yet, a child whose circumstances resemble that of Aegis's the most throughout the Empire. Why don't I introduce him to the daughter of Duke Remitio? Thalia curtsies. Pleased to meet you. I am Thalia of the House of Duke Remitio. The moment Charlotte saw Thalia for the first time, she was convinced that this child was an angel sent from heaven to change Aegis. Later at the family gathering, Peleus exclaims, "Oh." Thalia glares. "You can stop staring now, thank you." The Emperor says, "She looks just like Julian but is still cute." How fascinating. Julian retorts, "And what is your problem with me, Your Imperial Majesty?" Julian states, "Roxy and Tilly says that I'm cute, Peleus." Peleus replies bluntly, "So what?" "You don't look cute in my eyes." Tilly thinks to herself, "Gosh, maybe I shouldn't have set their relationship like this. They make everyone around them so uncomfortable." She sniffs her father's tea. This scent. Julian takes a sip. Thalia realizes it's coffee. The top 3 essential nutrients for Koreans: carbs, alcohol, and caffeine. Tilly looks up at Julian, eyes wide. Her father smiles. Interesting, right? This is called coffee. It's what people like to drink in the South. She asks, "Can I try some too?" He responds, "You're too little to be drinking coffee, Tilly." Tilly is persistent. She thinks, "Come on, it's not even alcohol. A sip of coffee won't kill me." Can't Tilly? Tilly gives her the ultimate puppy dog eyes. "Just have one sip? Pretty please." Julian blushes, his resolve wavering. Well. But his wife stops him. Roxana glares at him. He replies, "And no, Tilly. Why don't we drink milk instead?" Peleus chuckles, holding out a cup to Thalia. "Haha. Here, Lady Thalia, have a sip." Roxana calls out, "Your Imperial Majesty." He adds, "It'll only be a single sip. Perhaps it'll give her an early taste of the bitterness of life." Thalia slurped the coffee. The bitterness of life? No way, this is more like the true taste of life. Damn, I miss this. Peleus asks, "Isn't it bitter?" Thalia responds, "It's good." Julian states, Tilly isn't very picky when it comes to eating. Just then Aegis offers a donut to Tilly. She grabs it and pieces it into 2, and they both eat. Everyone is blushing at the cuteness. After that, Tilly declares, "I want to go play with Aegis. Let's go." Aegis smiles. Tilly and Aegis walks, trailed by servants. Tilly thinks, "I left because of the fuzzy atmosphere where they were treating me like a little kid. But there's nothing much to do out here either." She sighs. Aegis speaks up. "Tilly." She asks, "What is it?" Aegis smiles at her. "Would you like to have coffee? You seem to like it, so I secretly asked them to bring some." She gets excited. "Coffee." Tilly's eyes light up. He offers her the coffee beans. "Here, have some." As she stares at the beans, Aegis tilts his head, confused. "What's wrong? Aren't you going to eat it?" He crunches down on a coffee bean. He exclaims, "Ugh, what is this?" She begins, "Why would?" Just then Tilly recalls a scene from her past life. Someone laughs. "Why would you eat that, dummy?" Someone cried, "Ugh, I hate you. I'm telling Mom." The first person replies, "What did I do?" "You're the one who said you wanted to try coffee." Thalia thinks, right? That happened too. Aegis asks, concerned, "Tilly, are you all right?" Tilly says quietly, "I want to go home." Aegis's hand reaches for Tilly's. "You can't go back just yet because we're supposed to have dinner together." Tilly yells, pulling away. "Let go of me. I'm going to go home." Tilly declares, "I'm going to go home." Aegis, looking totally distraught, tries to stop her. But Tilly's having none of it. Her memories are flooding back, and she thinks, "I know all too well, since I died holding my brother's hand." She remembers her brother crying. "My brother, who always used to make fun of me, cried his eyes out. So it must mean that I'm truly dead, right?" But still, she shouts, "I want to go home." She grabs her bunny and starts whacking Aegis. Aegis tried to speak to Tilly. "Wait." The maid gets horrified. "And my lady?" Tilly plops to the ground, wailing. Her mind was conflicted. It's sad enough that I had to die like that. So why did I have to be reincarnated as a character who doesn't even exist in the novel that I wrote? She seriously questions her whole existence, despite my efforts of trying hard to grow fond of this place. No matter how hard I try, I can't help but think that everything is just a figment of my creation. She sobs, calling out Mommy. Her inner monologue continues. The only thoughts that fill my head is that perhaps this is all just a dream and that I'd wake up in a hospital bed when I open my eyes. And if that isn't possible, all I wish for is to see my real mother one last time. Later, Aegis tries to comfort her. The Count will be here soon. Tilly, are you okay now? Tilly sniffs, clearly not okay. She replies, I'm not okay. She says internally, I didn't even cry that much, and yet, I'm exhausted. Aegis wipes away her tears. She sobs thinking, this useless body of a child. Aegis asks gently, is there something you're unhappy about? Is it because of the coffee? But Tilly's got bigger issues. She replies, it's because I wasn't born as a cat. Aegis is baffled. You want to be a cat? How come? Tilly says, because if I was a cat, I wouldn't have become friends with you. Aegis' heart sank. He asks flustered, do you hate me, Tilly? Tilly replies, I don't hate you. I like you. Aegis' hope flickers. Then, why would you say that? She replies, well, do you like me? Or do you feel like you have to like me? Aegis gets clearly confused. Tilly then asks the question burning in her mind. Isn't it that you have to like me because I'm a Remitio? Aegis is quick to deny it. And no, not at all. Tilly counters. Are you absolutely sure about that? You care more about what you have to do than what your feelings tell you to do. Aegis doesn't respond. She adds, you said that we were alike, right? She answers herself, you're wrong. We're completely different and we'll never be the same. I just want to be friends with you because I like you, but it's not the same for you. She continues sternly, I can tell what you're thinking when you smile at me. If you keep that up, I won't be friends with you anymore. Aegis gets shocked. You won't be friends with me anymore? Tilly confirms it. That's right. I won't come over anymore, and I won't call you Aegis either. Aegis says, but you said that you like me. She confesses, I do. But I don't want to like you if you're not going to like me back. Aegis confirms again, I like you too, Tilly. Tilly sighs, her arms crossed. Even if someone else was Duke Remitio's daughter, you would have treated her the same, isn't that right? Aegis denies it, that's not true. Tilly challenges, are you sure? Aegis' shoulders slump. I don't know. Tears started falling from his face as he asks, what am I supposed to do? Tilly comforts him, instead of thinking about what you have to do, think about what you would like to do. Aegis says, but I have to be a good imperial prince. Tilly reassures him, it's not that you have to become a good imperial prince, but rather to make people believe that you will become a good imperial prince, because you are a good person, Aegis. Tilly's face softens as she says, but to be honest, I don't care if you're a good person or not. I just like you for who you are. She said inwardly, Aegis, I wish that you would become just a little more self-centered. Though this is a world of my creation, being born here, you deserve to live a life of your own. Aegis is touched by her words. Tilly continues thinking, since we don't know how or when our lives will come to an end, I wish for you to live a life without regrets. Even if you suddenly quit being the second male lead and become a villain, as a character born into this world that I've created, I will always be fond of you no matter what. Tilly smiles softly, thinking, oh, I see. Perhaps I was born into this world to save someone, because whether they're the protagonist, a supporting character, or a villain, my love goes out to each and every character, equally. Tilly is all smiles, surrounded by daisies, as she tells Aegis, if you like me too, not as an imperial prince, but as Aegis, then let's become real friends. Aegis shakes his head, and Tilly is taken aback. You don't want to be friends with me? He stammers, yes, I mean, no, I want to. Tilly is confused. Huh? Well, which is it? She asks, then why did you shake your head? Aegis looks down and admits, I don't. Just want to become real friends with you, Tilly. Then, Tilly asks, tilting her head. Aegis declares, clenching his fist, I want to marry you, Tilly. Tilly gets shocked. What the? She says, trying to let him down gently, I'm not so sure about marriage. Aegis is confused. How come? We both like each other. Tilly tries to explain, well, there are different ways of liking someone. To get married, You must like that person in a special way. Aegis insists, I do like you in a special way, Tilly. Tilly, completely flustered, replies, right, thanks. He adds, but we can only get married if you like me in a special way too, right? She replies, clearing her throat, right. Aegis is determined. Then, I'll try my best to make you like me in a special way. Tilly thinks to herself, I guess he is the second male lead of a romance novel after all. She considers, that's a bold thing to be said by a 5-year-old, if only it weren't for his runny nose. She stands up telling him, okay, give it your very best. Just then, Roxana and maids arrive, overhearing everything. Tilly freaks out, AAE. She asks Roxana, how long have you been listening? Her mother replies, ever since he proposed to you. Oh, Tilly flinches. Her mother sighs and asks, Tilly, why did you cry? Thalia points, His Imperial Highness told me to eat those coffee beans. It's my fault. I gave Tilly something that wasn't edible, Aegis says, bowing. I am sorry. Roxana remains silent. Tilly retorts, so, I hit His Imperial Highness with this rabbit 3 times. Roxana asks sternly, Thalia Remitio, you know what you've done wrong, right? Tilly responds, looking down apologetically, I hit His Imperial Highness, although I'm not supposed to easily hurt others. Roxana presses, why did you do it? Tilly explains, you told me that Aegis needed a real friend. I wanted to be Aegis's real friend because I like him, but Aegis was only being nice to me because I'm a Remitio, not because he really likes me. So I decided to not be friends with him and was about to go home, and when he tried to stop me, I got mad and hit him, but I talked it out with him. Tilly pulls Aegis close and says, sorry for hitting you, Aegis. Aegis says simply, okay. Roxana apologizes, Your Imperial Highness, I apologize for my daughter's misbehavior. Aegis replies, it's all right. Roxana continues, I also apologize for the unnecessary pressure I may have caused you to feel. If I may just add a word, whether you're a good child or not, Julie, and I also like you just the same, so there's no need for you to try so hard all the time. Tilly realizes, so I guess she heard the entire conversation. Thank you. Aegis thanked her. Then Roxana turns to Tilly and smiles warmly. Tilly, it's a bit soon, but let's go home now. Few days later at morning, Thalia went to check up on Loina. Loina woke up. Looking at her, Tilly says, you just woke up and you're not even crying. Loina smiles and calls out Mama. Then she rises up and sits. Thalia exclaims, wow, you can even sit up by yourself? Well, come to think of it, I guess you're already 6 months old. Again, Loina calls out Mama. Thalia asks her, do you like me because I'm your big sister? She giggles to herself, taking denial, anger, compromise, depression, and acceptance. I think I'm somewhere near the stage of acceptance right now. It's difficult for me to keep pretending like this isn't happening and to throw a tantrum and cry about it. If I can no longer go back, I have to accept the fact that I must now live as Thalia. She asks her little sister, Loina, do you think I've been sent here to help someone? Then she adds, smiling, good morning, Loina. Meanwhile, at another place, an attendant says, Madam Matilda, since we need to prepare for the Imperial Knight's arrival, you should move to another carriage. She turns to Ryan and says, all right, Your Highness, please come here. As Ryan turns to her, Madam Matilda smiles at him. Your Highness, I'll have to take a different carriage for now. Will you be all right by yourself? Ryan replies, yes. Alone in the carriage, Ryan slumps. He recalls his conversation with his father. His father said to him, Ryan, it'll be much safer if you go stay at the Empire. Ryan, alone in his carriage, thinks, that's a lie. Later, Roxana was ready to leave, but Tilly is not happy about it. Roxana says, Mommy's going to be back in 10 days at the latest, okay? Tilly huffs, that's not the problem here. You would have left without a word if I hadn't gotten up early this morning. The Grand Duchess apologizes, explaining she's been busy with work. But Tilly is worried, so I guess Roxana will soon be meeting Ryan. She sternly tells her mom, next time, you have to tell me at least a day in advance. Julian is touched. The Grand Duchess promises she will, and Tilly gives her a sweet smooch goodbye. As her mom rides off, Tilly hopes Roxana doesn't get too upset and wishes her safe travels. Then her doting father says, now then, Tilly, how about you and I go on a date? Then they went to see a play. A man with a sword cries, my lady, I shall save you. Please hold on. He struggles, shouting, "Arg, you bastards!" A woman stands tall, and the man cries, "My beautiful lady, come away with me, to somewhere far away, my lady." He whispers, "Goddess of comedy and delight, Thalia. Did you enjoy my play?" Tilly and her father claps. That's right, Thalia was the goddess of comedy. Tilly thinks to herself, the name Aegis also comes from Greek mythology. But this world is dominated by a monotheistic religion. So, how and where did the goddess of comedy suddenly appear from? Later, over a fancy meal, Tilly asks, "So, you named me after a character from a play?" Her dad smiles, "Yes. The day Mommy and I found out that we had you, we went to see a play. It was a very impressive play with only 2 characters. So, we decided to name you after the male protagonist if you were a boy and the goddess if you were a girl." Tilly nods, The goddess of comedy. Her dad asks, "It's our goddess Tilly's birthday soon, right? Is there anything you'd like to have? Just name it." But Tilly shakes her head, "Not really." Her father insists, "Come on. It can be anything at all." Tilly thinks, birthday. "In my past life, my birthday was on Christmas. My mom used to tell me how she was glad that she only had to give me one gift for both my birthday and for Christmas. I guess I'm still not completely over it, just yet." She says to her father, "I hope it snows on my birthday." Meanwhile, Ryan was in his carriage on his way to Empire. They were attacked by the bandits. Ryan was oblivious of the situation alone. Just then he heard a large shake and smoke appeared at a distance. He cowers. What's going on outside? Are we being attacked? He's terrified as the chaos unfolds. Just then a hand appeared breaking the door. Ryan clenches in fear, "I'm going to die." It was Roxana. She calls out riding a horse, "Your Highness, come this way." The boy wonders, who is she? Roxana urges him, "Sweetheart, please, you have to come." He went closer and Roxana grabs him, saving him from the disaster. His carriage fell and gets wrecked. Just then Roxana's aide shouts, "Grand Master." He scolds her, "You mustn't put yourself at risk like that." She retorts, getting down from the horse, "What was I supposed to do? The prince was in danger." The aide pleads, "I said I would go." What would happen to the relationship between the 3 families if something were to happen to you? Please do not disregard your status and position. Roxana, cradling the boy, declares, "That's precisely why I did it. Now that I've stepped in, they won't be able to hold it against the Empire." Just then Madame Matilda rushes to them, "Your Highness. Thank goodness, you're safe." The boy stammers, "Yes, this knight saved me." The woman says, "Oh, you're a knight from the Empire." With the attack from the bandits, the horses tied to the prince's carriage went wild. "I hate to imagine what would have happened to His Highness if you hadn't shown up. Thank you so much for saving the prince. I shall inform the kingdom so that we may repay the kindness the Empire has shown us." She adds, "I'll take care of His Highness from here." Roxana interjects, "I believe I forgot to introduce myself in the midst of all that chaos." Madame Matilda begin, "Yes, I understand." But Roxana disregards her and leans to Ryan, "Your Highness, I am Roxana of Enfield." Ryan replies, "I'm Ryan of the House Celis." 11 days have passed since Roxana left, and Thalia, Roxana's daughter, is starting to feel her absence. Julian also leaves early and works till late these days. "I wonder if everything's okay." Her maid approaches, asking, "My lady, what would you like to do today?" Thalia, noticing her rabbit is missing, asks where it is. The nanny cheerfully replies, "Oh, the rabbit went for a bath. She'll be back soon, squeaky clean." Thalia agrees, reminding the nanny to tell the rabbit to eat up while she's at it, as she's not as fluffy lately. The maid replies, "Yes, of course. The rabbit will come back to you clean and fluffy in no time." Tilly lays down on bed and says, "Good." The nanny suggests, "Are you just going to sleep again? Let's play." Thalia, however, is not feeling it. But then, the nanny offers a tempting proposition. "If you play with me today, I'll bake you the brown bread that you like." Thalia immediately perks up brown bread. The brown bread with lots of nuts. It's so delicious. She quickly gets up and requests, "I'd like it without raisins." The nanny laughs, "All right, just for today, I'll make it without raisins." Tilly smiles, "Great. Then, let's play with dolls. I'll be the lion, and Nanny, you can be the deer." The nanny looks concerned. "Are the 2 supposed to be friends? What are you talking about?" Thalia explains her unique logic. If the deer wants to survive, he has to keep the lion full. That way, the lion won't have to eat the deer. The nanny seems to understand, "I see." Thalia adds, and the lion likes bread. The nanny protests, what? This isn't fair, my lady. Let's play something else. Thalia smiles, fine. Then let's play pirates. The nanny took a sigh and guesses, let me guess, you're a pirate, and I'm an innocent person with bread. Am I right? Thalia is impressed. How did you know? The nanny cries, all right. I'll just go away and make bread for you. Thalia plops back down, thinking, I usually play along, but I just don't feel like it today. And then she heard powerful wail. What? She remarks, she's Roxana's daughter, all right. A powerful voice and stamina like no other. She went to her room and asks the nanny, why is she crying again? The nanny explains, my lady. She's just peevish before falling asleep. She soothes her, look who's here. It's your big sister. Do you want to say hello? Loina stops crying and sniffles. The maid says, as expected, she stops crying the moment she sees you. I think she'll soon fall asleep. Thalia asks the nanny, can you tell my nanny to bring the bread here? She's in the kitchen. The nanny asks pardon? Thalia replies, I'll look after Loina, so hurry. Make sure she doesn't add any raisins to the bread. The nanny replies, oh, yes, my lady. Soon, both sisters are sleeping soundly. Thalia giggles, hee hee, she's ugly. Thalia dozes off and thinks in her sleep. How funny. Later, Thalia wakes up, her eyes fluttering open. The nanny is there, holding the baby. My lady, did you fall asleep again? I thought you wanted bread. Bread. Give me bread. Thalia mumbles sleepily. Finally, Thalia gets her bread. It tastes like heaven. The nanny smiles, how cute. My lady, I heard a new friend will be staying with us for a while. Wouldn't it be nice to make a new friend? Thalia replies, I already have a friend. The nanny asks, you mean the rabbit? Thalia corrects her, no, Aegis. The nanny blushes, of course. You mean Aegis, the imperial prince, right? Thalia then asks, by the way, when is mommy coming home? The nanny reassures her, while you were taking a nap, I received word that she'll be back soon. So, there's no need to worry. Just then a maid knocks the door and comes inside. She says, my lady, the count. As soon as Thalia heard that, she rushes outside. Oh, goodness, the nanny exclaims. Thalia sprints out of the room, determined to see her mother. When she reached outside, she saw her mother accompanied by a woman and a young boy. Her mother says warmly, Tilly. He introduces the boy. Say hello. This is Prince Ryan, from the Kingdom of Celis. Thalia recognizes him. Ryan, the male lead of my original novel. But what's Ryan doing here? The nanny's earlier words echo in her mind. I heard a new friend will be staying with us for a while. She wonders, could it be? Her mother adds, the prince came to the Empire for his studies, and he'll be staying at our place for a while. Thalia thinks at the Duke's manor. According to the original plot, he's supposed to go to the Imperial Palace and become friends with Aegis. Ryan looks sullen, a small growl emanating from him. Thalia offers him a piece of her bread. Would you like some to have? As he was hesitating, she adds, it's okay. My hands are clean. The boy glances at the woman accompanying him. The woman says, Your Highness, you mustn't refuse such kind gestures. She is the daughter of Duke Remigio. Thalia pouts thinking, so she's the one keeping an eye on Ryan for the queen. They didn't even feed the poor kid. Ryan started eating the bread. Thalia's mother smiles at her. That was sweet of you, Tilly. Let's say hello to His Highness too, shall we? Thalia cheerfully greets Ryan, hi. Ryan formally responds, greetings, my lady. Thalia corrects him, my name isn't lady though. Ryan is confused. Huh? She declares, smiling, my name is Thalia. You can call me Tilly. But if you call me Tilly, you have to be my friend. And friends don't have to be so stiff with each other. So, dear Rabbit Prince, would you like to be friends with me? Or you can be one of the 4 lords that serve the Demon Queen, my sidekick, so to speak. Ryan looks even more dejected. Not interested either? Thalia asks. He replies drooped, I'm fine with anything. Thalia looks at her mother, thinking, I'm sure it was Roxana's idea to bring Ryan here. Then, as her daughter, I shall be a good friend to him. Thalia declares, all right then. You're one of my 4 lords now. She reaches out her hand smiling. I'm a generous demon queen to my sidekicks, so don't worry. Ryan looks at her warily, but he takes her hand. Ryan and Thalia hold hands, and she's absolutely beaming. Mommy, let's have a picnic at the garden, with sandwiches and the bread that Nanny made. We'll play while we wait for Daddy, shall we? Thalia's mom, in her armor, agrees. She turns to Madame Matilda and says, since the annex is still under preparation for His Highness and the others, why don't we all spend some time at the garden? You must all be exhausted, traveling for 2 whole months. Madame replies, that would be fine. Roxana points towards the servant and adds, in regards to your stay at the annex, our butler will be at your service. Thalia excitedly calls Mr. Butler. The butler bows politely. Yes, my lady. But then Thalia whispers something in his ear that sounds sinister. From now on, the prince is going to be one of the Demon Queen's 4 lords. I'll let you be one of the 4 lords as well. So let's do something naughty together. The butler thinks for a moment, then grins. I'd be honored. And Thalia thinks to herself, he's quick-witted as I thought. Not only is Chamber the butler of this manor, but he's also a terrifying person who manages Julian's intelligence organization, so he fits right in as one of the 4 lords. I'll introduce my little sister to you before we start the picnic. Let's go. Thalia turns to Ryan and says, she's really ugly, you know. It's hilarious. Her mom is quick to correct her, Tilly, I told you not to call Loina ugly. She understands, even though she's just a baby. Thalia grabs Ryan's hand and says, let's go, Ryan. But her mom warns Tilly, you'll hurt your friend if you tug him like that. Thalia retorts, he's not my friend. He's my underling. Her mother asks, where in the world did you learn that word? Thalia giggles. From Daddy. But then she stumbles and falls. Ryan gets concerned to Tilly. She thinks, damn it, this blasted body just won't listen. How I wish I could control my arms and legs properly. Her mom rushes to her side. Sweetheart, that's why I told you not to run. Are you hurt? And are you all right, Your Highness? Thalia looks up at her mom. Mommy, can you hold me? Her mom picks her up, along with Ryan. Ryan is a little flustered. Roxana asks, would you like me to put you down? He hesitates, then whispers no. And with a smile, her mom holds both of them close. As they head inside, the maid calls out Countess. Roxana asks Nanny, was Loina crying a lot again? The nanny replies, no, she cried much less today. Lady Tilly was by her side the entire time. Her mom smiles. That's right. Loina likes her big sister very much. Tilly, could you wait here with His Highness for a moment? Your Highness, I'll return once I get changed. Ryan agrees softly, okay. Thalia's nanny sits with her. My lady. Yes, Thalia asks. The nanny says, you mustn't run with food in your mouth like you did earlier. You might get sick or throw up because you're still too little. You must sit down and chew your food slowly, okay? Thalia replies, right, okay. Then Ryan approaches. It's a pleasure to meet you, Your Highness, the nanny says with a grin. She introduces herself, I'm Mia Harrison, Lady Tilly and Lady Loina's nanny. Ryan panics and latches onto Thalia, hiding behind her. Thalia thinks, wait, what? This is adorable. As Ryan was almost teary, she thinks to herself, my goodness, I wish I could just cuddle my baby right now. She remembers, Ryan from the original novel grows up to become a fierce person who always has his guard up, and that's from being raised in an environment where there was no one to trust. But this time, Thalia declares smugly, Nanny, he just became the first of my 4 lords. He's the Demon Queen's #1 underling. The nanny looks surprised. Oh my. Then who are the other 3 lords? Thalia responds, Mr. Butler and the remaining spots are still open. Then Nanny asks, what are you going to do once you have your 4 lords? Take over the world. Thalia responds, why go through such a bothersome task? The nanny is taken aback then, why are you recruiting them? Thalia declares, he refused to be my friend, so I told him to be one of my 4 lords instead. Ryan is flustered. That's not it. I never said I didn't want to be your friend. I said that it didn't matter to me either way. Thalia says, you're now the first underling of the Demon Queen, so don't say that it doesn't matter. Because as the Demon Queen, it matters to me. Ryan nods, and Thalia thinks to herself, could it be you that I'm supposed to save? Her mind raced, however. This entire story is based on the destruction of the world caused by an evil spirit. If I change the original story by saving Ryan now, he may not be able to destroy the evil spirit and the world may perish. If I let things flow according to the original plot, Aegis and Loina will save Ryan from the evil spirit 17 years from now, and Ryan will then destroy the evil spirit. That will be the path to a happy ending. But Thalia can't wait. But 17 years? That's far too long. Am I supposed to watch and do nothing as he's being abused all that time? Her nanny asks, my lady? Shall we introduce Lady Loina to the first of the four lords? Thalia snaps out of her thoughts. Oh, right. Yen, come say hello to my little sister. Loina is still a baby. She's only been born for 6 months now. Ryan stares at the baby. Thalia looks at them curiously. This meeting never took place in the original novel. However, the wheels have started to turn as per the destined fate. Roxana's in the bath, but she's not relaxing. She's thinking, and it's serious. She recalls her conversation with the Emperor and Julian. She declares, I'll be taking Prince Ryan to the Duke's manor. Peleus replies, Roxy, I understand your concern, but… She cut in, you've seen him with your own eyes. He's the same age as our Tilly. Yet, it's apparent how he's been neglected. Peleus looks towards Julian and Julian nods, his face grim. Roxana continues, the prince should be looked after in a more caring environment than the imperial palace. Back to the bath, she thinks in her mind, it still works me up that they left the child starving because they were too occupied with the negotiation. Roxana sighs, clearly frustrated. I wish I could just punch that Matilda in the face, but she looks like she might die after a single blow. Damn the 3 families. She turns to a maid with instructions. Tell the head chef to consult with the doctor and change the diet. Till now, we didn't have to worry since Tilly isn't picky with food. But we don't know how the prince is, so keep a close eye on him. Also, tell the chef to make an abundant amount of food so that he can eat as much as he wants without worrying. What shall we do with the leftovers? The maid asks. Roxana replies, dispose the leftovers at the annex, since food should never be wasted. Later, Ryan is in the garden, happily stuffing his face with pastries. Gobble, gobble. Thalia asks, is it tasty? And Ryan replies with a resounding yes. Thalia thinks he's eating like there's no tomorrow. This doesn't seem to be the first time he's been starved. Although it's cute, he's like a hamster. Thalia asks, by the way, why did he come to our house, Mommy? Roxana smiles. His carriage was attacked on the way, so I thought it would be better for him to stay at our place than at the Imperial Palace. Thalia thinks an attack. It's obvious who is behind it. But to look after Ryan, we would have to take responsibility for any accidents that might happen as well. Thalia asks, of course. Is Daddy okay with this as well? Roxana replies, of course. He went out of his way to help. So Thalia thinks again, Julian is not some pushover. He's not the type to agree to something that's unfavorable to him. Yet, why did he agree this time? Why are things different from the original story? She glances at Ryan and concludes, well, there's not much that I can do right now. Thalia asks Roxana, is Ryan staying at the annex too? Ryan's face droops. Roxana quickly reassures her, no, the prince will be staying at the main mansion. Thalia is relieved. Great. I was worried that I had to go all the way to the annex. Roxana smiles at Ryan. Thalia saw him stuffing his mouth with pastries. Hey, stop eating. We're going to have dinner when my daddy gets home. Ryan asks her, can I do that? Thalia explains, these are just snacks. If you fill yourself up now, you won't be able to have dinner later on. Ryan nods. She tells him, from now on, you're going to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even snacks with me, okay? Ryan answers, okay. Roxana tells Thalia, how nice of you to look after your friend, Tilly. Suddenly, Thalia exclaims, oh, Daddy's here. Julian runs up, looking slightly flustered. Thalia yells, Daddy, and runs to him. He sweeps her up in a hug. My little goddess, you're as beautiful as ever. He kisses her cheeks. Thalia whines, stop kissing me. Julian replies, I'll stop if you give Daddy a kiss. Thalia reluctantly kisses his cheek, and Julian laughs. Ryan watches the scene, a strange expression on his face. Roxana approaches him. Your Highness. Ryan asks yes. Roxana says, you'll be staying with our family for the time being. If something happens, please let Tilly know. He asks, if something happens? Roxana smiles, yes, anything at all. You can tell Tilly everything, since we'll be protecting you during your stay here. She beams at Ryan, and he smiles back. Looking at him, Thalia thinks, I recalled a phrase that I wrote in the novel when I saw Ryan smile for the first time. With his consciousness fleeting, Ryan smiled as he recalled the one and only year he had ever felt happy in his entire life. I hope he's happy during his stay here, as per the original novel. Later at dinner, Thalia gleefully shouts, Paprika. Paprika. Julian chuckles. Chew it well, sweetheart. Ryan awkwardly tries to eat a piece of meat, but it rolls off his fork and fall on the ground. Thalia watches him. The governess glares at Ryan. Madame Matilda says sternly, "Your Highness, watch your table manners." Julian and Roxana stares at the governess. Thalia offers Ryan her meat. "Here, you can have mine." Roxana adds, "My underlings must eat well. I'll invite you to the Demon Queen's castle later, so eat up." Madame Matilda clears her throat. "Ahem. I'm sorry, Lady Tilly, but His Highness has a class in the morning." Thalia asks a class. The governess confirms, yes, he has a language class in the morning, and 2 other classes in the afternoon. Thalia is appalled. That's a ridiculous schedule. Ryan's only 5 years old, she sighs. Then I guess I'll take class with him. Julian and Roxana are shocked. Are Tilly studying? Then I guess I'll take class with him. Thalia decides, but Madame Matilda is clearly against it. She begins, "But, my lady." But Roxana cut in and pleads, "Madam, please allow her to participate." This is the first time Tilly has ever shown interest in taking a class. She adds, smiling, "Just sitting in will be fine." Julian then suggests to Roxana, "Roxy, why don't we take some more time to work out Tilly's education?" Madame Matilda gets alarmed as Julian adds, "We'll be busy investigating the previous attack for a while, and it could even grow into an issue between the 2 nations. So let's think about it once everything is settled." Julian's cold demeanor is crystal clear. "Ahem, as you wish." Madame Matilda clears her throat, then adds, "I guess it wouldn't hurt for His Highness to have a study mate, to make his study abroad more fruitful." Thalia smirks, "That's right. When in Rome, do as the Romans do." Ryan thinks together, while Thalia coos, "Look how adorable my baby is. Should I play school with him?" The next day, Thalia and Ryan are in class. Thalia looks at the paper in shock. What in the world is this? The teacher says, "Lady Thalia, you may copy the text just once since this is your class for the first time. Your Highness, you will need to write 5 copies as usual." Thalia's jaw drops. 5 copies as usual? Thalia reads the text. "One must not try to address all problems by believing that everything is the will of God. Good occasionally bestows prophecies or miracles, but is usually indifferent to human problems. This is why scholars who learn and research must approach problems with an analytic attitude." She thinks to herself, "Can Yen even read and understand this?" She glances over at Ryan, who is struggling to write. He doesn't understand it at all. They're making a 5-year-old write things he doesn't even understand. If this isn't bullying, what is? Thalia raises her hand. "Teacher, may I ask a question?" The teacher, Daniel, responds, "Yes, of course. Unlike His Highness, I see that you're very eager to learn, my lady." Thalia is fuming. "How can you say such things when he's right here? Can't you see that you're making my baby all depressed?" She leans over to Ryan Yen. Ryan looks up, confused. Thalia asks, "Don't you want to go to the bathroom?" Ryan replies, "No." "Yes, you do. You shouldn't hold it in. Go on now." Thalia insists with a smile. Ryan reluctantly agrees. "Oh, okay." As Ryan leaves, Thalia tears up her paper. "Lady Thalia," Daniel exclaims. Thalia holds up the torn paper, asking, "Whose will is this? Is this God's will? Or yours? Or perhaps the will of someone who told you to put a child who can barely read through this nonsense, to make him feel small and incapable?" Daniel gulps. "Lady Thalia, I understand that this class can be difficult for you to follow. Since you're only sitting in today, you don't have to participate." Thalia retorts, "Do you think this is just because I don't want to participate? I'm just following orders." Daniel sighs. "I'm not happy about it either, but I have no choice. It's easy for you to say these things, Lady Thalia, since you don't have to answer to anyone. As for me, I'm just a mere tutor." Thalia is annoyed. Daniel thinks to himself, she's nothing more than a lucky child, born to wealthy parents. She asks him, "What is your name?" He gets taken aback. "I beg your pardon?" She replies, "I asked for your name. I can't seem to recall it." Daniel is clearly irritated. He says, "It's Daniel. But more importantly, Lady Thalia, although I am of lower class than you, during my class you must." Thalia interrupts, "I understand that you have no authority over this matter, so I'll give you some realistic options to choose from instead." Thalia presents her demands. First, you quit your job as a tutor and return to the kingdom. Second, I tell my mom and dad about this situation, and you get punished for insulting royalty. Which do you prefer? Daniel is shocked. "What do you mean?" Thalia continues, "Like you said, I don't need to answer to anyone, and the same goes for Prince Yen. You do know that insulting royalty carries a maximum punishment of death, right? Daniel stutters, death. Thalia gives her final offer. The third option I can offer as a compromise is that you stop abusing the child and start giving appropriate lessons for a 5-year-old. So, what will it be? Daniel is terrified. Is this truly coming from a child? Even when considering that she is the daughter of Prime Minister Remishio, this is. Thalia warns, if you don't answer before Yen gets back, I'm going to choose the worst option for you. Daniel gives in. I choose the third option. Thalia adds, oh, and don't tell anyone about what happened today, especially my parents. It'll only complicate things. Daniel was speechless. Thalia asks sternly, your answer? Yes, my lady, Daniel replies. Later, as Thalia and Ryan leave the classroom, the maid asks my lady, how was the class? Thalia replies, it was boring. I'm going to eat and play now. The maid says, oh dear, then I suppose His Highness will have to take his classes alone. Thalia says, nope, Yen is going to play with me too. They only teach weird things. The maid is confused, weird things? What do you mean, my lady? Thalia says, I don't know. The teacher was bullying Yen. Thalia thinks Daniel, or what's his face, promised to teach properly from now on. But he's not the only one who teaches Yen, and it's obvious that all of them are giving him a hard time. But they won't be able to have it their way as long as our roof. She says, I'm going to fight anyone who's mean to Yen. The maid replies, all right, I'll ask if we can cancel today's class. Thalia asks, really? The maid replies, of course. In return, could you tell me how the teacher was mean to you, Your Highness? Did he hurt you? Ryan says, it wasn't Daniel, but the other teacher. Ryan fidgets, whipped me 30 times for not doing well on a test. Thalia is outraged. The maid says, my lady, I'm going to go speak to the butler for a moment. Please call for a maid if you need anything. Okay, Thalia replies. Ryan touches Thalia's hand, and she looks at him in surprise. Ryan asks Tilly, are you angry? Thalia replies, no, I'm not angry. Thalia grabs Ryan's hand. Yen, let's go play. Thalia smiles brightly. There's a secret passage that takes you outside the manor. Would you like to go see it? Later, they were in a beautiful field of flowers. Thalia is picking a bouquet. Ryan approaches. What are you doing? He asks. Thalia turns, holding up the flowers. I'm going to make a wreath. Ryan tilts his head. A wreath? What's a wreath? Thalia explains. It's a crown made of flowers. Ryan seems skeptical. You can make something like that? Thalia grins, of course. I'll make one for you. Give me a second. Ryan nods, intrigued. Thalia gets to work, and soon she's placing a wreath of yellow flowers on Ryan's head. Yen, come here. He blushes as she approaches. Ryan, now crowned, looks a little flustered. Thalia beams. I knew it. He looks so cute. She's practically squealing inside. Ryan tilts his head, and the wreath was about to fall, so he quickly straightened and froze. Thalia smiles inside, though he can just put it back on if it falls. I won't say anything because it's cute. Thalia teases him. I'll make you another one next time if you don't drop it. Ryan agrees shyly, okay. He calls out, Tilly. She replies, yes. Ryan asks, do you like flowers? Thalia smiles brightly. I do. Ryan inquires, why? She giggles, because they're pretty. He wonders, do you like pretty things? Thalia responds with a resounding, of course. Ryan, a little flustered, admits, me too. Thalia perks up. Ryan says quietly, I like pretty things too. Just then the maid Mia Harrison came there and felt a sense of relief, as I thought, they're here. She giggles to herself as she sees the pair. The Mia Harrison didn't appear in the original novel. She was Roxana's childhood friend and trusted family servant. Her destiny was to take her own life after the death of her son and a fallout with her husband. But when the newly born Thalia came to her, her destiny changed forever. She escaped death and was able to make a minor twist to the original plot, though only 2 people in this world were made aware of this. The maid calls out, my lady, your highness. It's time for lunch. Thalia happily responds, nanny. Thalia, still holding a wreath, presents it to Mia. Here, this one's for you. Mia is touched. Why, thank you, my lady. She happily exclaims, let's all go and eat now. Tilly wonders, okay, how did things go with the tutoring? Mia replies, the butler stepped in, so there shouldn't be any problems from now on. Tilly seems to be keeping a close eye on everything. Mia turns to Ryan, "Your Highness," and Ryan replies, "Yes." Mia interjects, "From now on, if anything happens, please tell Lady Tilly about it, since our lady is the Demon Queen, and you and I are both her trusted sidekicks." Ryan nods in understanding. Tilly declares, "All right, let's head back now." Thalia cheers, "Okay," and jumps on Ryan's back. "Let's go." As Ryan carries Thalia, Tilly observes, "It's already been a month since Yen arrived. He's been putting on weight from eating well, and his physical strength seems to have improved as well." "That's good." Roxana and Julian were furious when they found out that Yen's private tutors had been abusing him, and the tutor who laid hands on Yen was deported back to the kingdom. Yen's nanny, Matilda, was still lurking around, but hardly left the annex anymore since the Duke's people took Yen under their wings and kept a close eye on her. Later, two maids call out, "My lady." "Your Highness, come and try some snacks." Thalia asks Mia, "What did Loina do today?" Mia smiles, same as usual, which means she ate, slept, and pooped. Being a baby truly has its perks. Ryan calls out, "Tilly." Tilly offers Ryan a piece of apple. He opens his mouth for it. Nom, they both look so cute together. Tilly thinks it's cute, but maybe I'm spoiling him. Mia looks at Thalia and says, "By the way, my lady, I haven't seen you carrying around your rabbit doll lately. I even stuffed it with a lot of cotton." Thalia declares, "Yep, the rabbit's been fired." Ryan watches, a little confused. Mia asks, "How come?" Thalia answers, because I'm not sleepy anymore." She says in her mind, "I used to use it as a pillow, but now that I'm with Yen all day, I don't get the chance to take a nap at all." Mia muses, "I guess she does sleep much less than she used to." The doctor said that long naps may be caused by psychological factors. Perhaps she did need a friend her age. Ryan was ready again for Thalia to offer a piece again, but she said, "You have a fork right there too." Ryan drooped and Mia notices that. As Ryan began eating himself, Mia asks, "My lady?" Thalia replies, "Yes." Mia says, "Your birthday is just 2 days away. Is there anything you'd like as a gift?" Thalia replies indifferently, "Weren't you done with all the preparations already? You were looking for ribbons a week ago." Mia laughs, still, "Could you just give me a slight hint about what you want?" Thalia says, "Well, Daddy is going to make it snow and Mommy is going to read me 10 new storybooks. That's good enough for me." Mia gets surprised, "Really? Is that really enough, my lady?" Thalia responds, "Like I said, that's..." Just then she notices Ryan, who is about to cry. She realizes, oh no. Mia asks again, "You said something you wanted, didn't you?" Thalia realizes. "All right, a gift that a 5-year-old can get in 2 days. Come on, brain." She pipes up and says, chocolate cookies. I think I'd like to have some chocolate cookies on my birthday." Mia perks up. "Is that so?" Thalia exclaims, "Yes, of course." Ryan is pleased. Thalia, on the other hand, says, "I'm just so excited for my birthday. Ha ha ha." But internally she screams, "This is my life." On her birthday, sprawling estate, bathed in the morning light. But little Thalia frowns. "Sweetheart, it's time to wake up," Roxana says, a radiant smile on her face. "It's your birthday today." Thalia grunts, rubbing her eyes. "Sorry, but I'm not your typical, energetic child who springs out of bed just because it's her birthday. Besides, I feel sluggish and heavy today for some reason." Roxana lifts her from the bed. "Here we go. Come on, let's have a birthday party. Mommy and Daddy don't have to go to work today." "I'm sleepy," Thalia complains, nestling into her mother's embrace. Roxana chuckles, "You'll feel awake once you wash up. Would you like to bathe with Mommy? Let's wash up and get you into your pretty dress." And just like that, Thalia is whisked away, dressed in a beautiful pink dress. "Why do I feel so tired, even went to bed early last night?" she thinks, still drowsy. The 3 families are physically gifted, so it's unlikely that I'm sick. Roxana asks her concerned, "Are you not feeling well?" "No, I'm just sleepy," Thalia replies. Roxana laughs, "Tilly, did you have a hard time falling asleep because you were too excited about your birthday party?" "I guess so," Thalia murmurs. Roxana smiles, "I was so excited that I didn't get much sleep either." "Really?" Thalia asks, looking up at her mother with wide eyes. Roxana replies, "Of course, Mommy and Daddy were both so thrilled that we couldn't sleep properly. To think that our Tilly is turning 5 already." Thalia looks at her warmly. Then Roxana gently places a tiara on Thalia's head. Roxana coos as they looked in a mirror, "You look so pretty." Do I? Thalia giggles, a blush rising on her cheeks. Roxana replies, "You're the prettiest in the entire world. Looking just like Daddy." She acts, "But I like taking after you more." Roxana beams, "There's a lot of me in you, too. After all, you're my daughter." Thalia tilts her head. "Which part?" "I can't think of anything other than my hair." Roxana smiles, "Our hands look alike." Thalia wonders, "Our hands?" Roxana adds, smiling, "Our feet as well. Your bone structure is closer to mine than your daddy's. I'm sure people will say you look just like me when you grow up." Thalia giggles, thinking, "I guess I could resemble Roxana when looked at from behind." Roxana smiles, "Tilly, you know what? In a little while, we'll be reaching the time when you were born. 5 years ago, on this day, I came to believe that my Tilly was someone who can alter destiny." "What do you mean?" Thalia asks, tilting her head in confusion. Roxana's eyes soften. "The moment I saw you born, I could hear the sound of my own destiny change." Later, Thalia suddenly dashes off calling, "Daddy." Julian smiles down at her holding Loina. "Tilly, it looks like God has granted you your wish as a birthday gift. But instead, we'll have to host the birthday party indoors." "What do you mean?" Thalia asks, bewildered. "It's snowing right now." Julian gestures towards the window, where snowflakes are falling gently. Thalia rushes to the window. "What?" "No way." At the temple, the prophetessa stands in the snow, her face serene. A figures stand beside her. "It's rare that we get snow during the fall, prophetessa," one of them observes. She replies, her voice calm, "Well, normally, it isn't meant to happen." The other one thinks, as someone who can see both past and future, she must have known it would snow today. Yet I've never heard her say something like this before. He says, "You seem to be in a good mood today." "What I've most been waiting for has finally begun," the prophetessa says, a hint of anticipation in her voice. "It would appear that God has finally answered my prayers." Her companion looks taken aback. "Should we make preparations to receive a prophecy?" "This isn't a prophecy," she interrupts. He asks, confused, "I beg your pardon?" The prophetessa thinks to herself, a faint smile gracing her lips. The temple is located on the east coast, at the very edge of the continent. To the west of the temple, there is the Asur Empire, and next to it is the Sealess Kingdom. I wonder if it's snowing where you are as well. And if it is, I hope that you are witnessing this sight. For then, you shall notice that the ordained fate has been altered ever so slightly. Then she says, "Come to think of it, today is the birthday of Duke Remicio's first child." Her companion replies, "Yes, and their second daughter was born a few months ago as well." Her companion looks perplexed. Did it come to her mind as she was thinking about the baptismal ceremony? I've served the prophetessa for a long time, yet she has never mentioned a specific person like this before. She says, "We should start preparing for the second child's baptism soon." "I will make sure everything is prepared well," her companion replies with a bow. She replies, "That would be wonderful." The prophetessa closes her eyes, a wistful expression on her face. "Just another year, and I'll finally be able to meet you. The silver hair and purple eyes I have been envisioning for the past 1,000 years. The one who will bring an end to my story." It's Thalia's 5th birthday, and they got her a massive 5-tier cake. It's definitely bigger than what she's used to. She felt bewildered. They got a 5-tier cake for a 5-year-old's birthday. But it has always been just a normal cake until now. Her father asks, "What's wrong, Tilly? Don't you like the cake?" "It's too big," she says. But Roxana is quick to brush that aside. "Let's worry about the cake later. First, the birthday girl should welcome her guest." "My guest?" Thalia asks, tilting her head. Roxana smiles. "Your friend will be arriving soon." "My friend? You mean Aegis?" Thalia exclaims, her eyes sparkling. Suddenly, Ryan appears, a gift in his hands. His gifts drop as he heard Aegis. He asks, "Who's Aegis?" Thalia beams, all sunshine. "He's my friend." Ryan's face remains stoic, but Thalia's determined to get these two to bond. Since Yan is still on his guard, I should help them become friends. Even if they don't end up becoming like decent brothers, they should be decent friends at least. She picks up Ryan's gift and handed it to him. She smiles. Aegis is a 5-year-old boy. All of us are the same age now that I've turned 5 as well. It's going to be more fun if we play together. Ryan fidgets with his hands. Does it have to be all 3 of us together? Thalia asks him, "You don't want to?" "But there are more games we can play now that there are 3 of us." Ryan looks up at her, surprised. "Are really?" Thalia's all smiles. "Of course." Betting. I mean, games are just more fun when there are more people. He hesitantly replies, okay. Ryan spoke, then, will you hold my hand so that I won't feel too shy? Ryan blushes, his face turning red. Thalia gushes, my gosh, can he get in cuter? He asks, a hint of sadness in his eyes. You don't want to, S. She quickly replies, no way. Of course, I would hold your hand. And just like that, she takes his hand, her face still flushed. Moments later at the grand entrance, where Aegis arrives with a big smile with the Empress. He greets, hi Tilly. Thalia beams, hi. Ryan clenches his hand that Thalia was holding. He's definitely not happy with this newcomer. Aegis greets Ryan, hello to you as well. But Ryan doesn't respond. Aegis turns to Ryan, Tilly, who's this? Thalia replies, oh, he's a younger brother. Ryan is not having it. That's not true. I'm older than Tilly. Thalia giggles. An older brother would know how to greet someone when introduced. So Ryan straightened and greets, hi. Aegis says, hello. I'm Aegis. Ryan replies, I'm Ryan. Aegis smiles brightly. I see. Nice to meet you. And just like that, Aegis takes the other hand of Thalia. She frowns thinking, what's with these two? The Empress, Julian, and Roxana watches from a distance. The Empress smiles. Oh, how adorable. Thalia grumbles, excuse me, Mama? Can you please take your son now? Back at the birthday party, everyone sings, happy birthday to you. Thalia thinks to herself, 5 years old. Or actually, am I 33 now? A wish. You've got to make a wish, Julian says. Thalia closes her eyes. Last year, I wished that I would snap out of this dream. But this year, I wish for everyone to have a happy ending, just like in the original story. She blows out the candles. Aegis presents his gift. This is my birthday gift, Tilly. He holds out a cat doll. I actually wanted to get you a real cat, but my mother said that a living creature is not something that should be gifted lightly, so I got you a doll instead. As he handed it to her, he asks, do you like it? Thalia hugs the doll tightly. I do. She thinks, yes, proof of a good upbringing background. Ryan steps forward. Tilly, here's mine as well. He presents his gift, a box of chocolate cookies. Wow, chocolate cookies, Thalia exclaims. She takes a cookie and crunches on it. Is it good, Tilly? Ryan asks, his eyes hopeful. Thalia nods enthusiastically. Yes, you should try one too. Ryan shakes his head. So Thalia shoves a cookie to Aegis's mouth saying, really? Then you have it, Aegis. She says, it's more delicious when we eat it together, isn't it? Aegis nods, but Ryan was not having it. Thalia asks, are you sure you're not going to eat it, Yen? I'm going to share it with Aegis then. Ryan slides closer and takes a cookie from the box. They all sit together, munching on cookies. The adults watch them, smiling. Thalia thinks, look at my sweet babies eat. Thalia's eyes sparkle as she looks at them both. The Empress approaches. Lady Thalia. She presents a gift. We've prepared a gift for you as well. Thalia thinks, we? As in the Imperial family? When the ornate box opens, her eyes widen in shock. This is a crown from the Imperial family to the daughter of another family? She stares at the golden crown inside. This means they're accepting me as the crown princess. But why? I thought they called off the engagement with Aegis already. Thalia glances at Ryan and Aegis, then back at the Empress. It doesn't seem like this is Charlotte's idea. This has to be Peleus' plan. So, you want to have a go at it, old man? She thinks. Thank you, she says, but to herself, she adds, we'll see about this. Later they went outside to play in snow. Ryan and Aegis are making snowballs while Thalia watches from a distance. She glances towards her parents and thinks, both of them must also know the meaning of that tiara. She muses, I bet they're not reacting to it because it's still too soon to talk about this matter, or it could be that I'm perhaps overreacting. Just then Aegis and Ryan calls, Tilly. Thalia asks, are you trying to make a snowman? Good job. Aegis says, smiling. Yup, I'll go and make another snowball. Ryan adds, and me too. What for? You can put those two together, Thalia says, but Aegis refuses. I don't want to. Thalia asks, why not? Ryan and Aegis protest at the same time. That one's too dirty, Aegis says, and Ryan chimes in, I don't want to either. His is too small. Thalia sighs. Ugh, these kids. Thales instructs a servant. Could you put this one on top of that one? The servant complied, yes, my lady. Thalia beams, standing next to the snowman. This is mine now, she announces. Go make another one if you two have a problem with it, Thalia says, and Ryan and Aegis trudge off. Why won't they get along? Thalia wonders. They were best friends in the original novel. This is like babysitting naughty nephews during a family gathering. What a headache. Tilly. Ryan calls. Oh, are you done? That looks great, Thalia replies. She pats Ryan on the head. Now that you've made the snowman together, you two should become good friends. Aegis and Ryan glances at each other, then quickly grabs Thalia's hand. She frowns, geez, I should have just wished for these two to get along. Ryan growls at Aegis, but Aegis refuses, shaking his head. Ryan shoves Aegis away. Huh. Aegis falls to the ground. Ryan, Thalia yells. Tears came to Ryan's eyes and he was in despair. Thalia realizes, I shouldn't have done that. Thalia reflects, Ryan could hardly keep his head up until recently. I shouldn't have yelled at him. She approaches Ryan. I am sorry for yelling at you, but you shouldn't push a friend like that. Ryan hangs his head. I'm sorry. He continued saying, I'm sorry. Thalia gets startled. Roxana and other took Ryan inside. Tilly, are you okay? Aegis asks. What about you, Aegis? You're not hurt, are you? She asks. Aegis replies, yes, I'm fine. But that boy, is it that you want me to become friends with him? Aegis asks. Thalia clenches her fists. Of course, that would be nice, but... She touches his cheek and says, I told you, Aegis. Think about what you want, rather than what you have to do. Aegis smiles, then, I'll go make up with him. Thalia asks, really? How come? Is there something you like about Yen? Aegis replies, actually, I didn't like him that much till just now. But I can see why he acted that way. So I think we can become good friends. Thalia asks, you understand why he acted that way? Aegis smiles, yes. I didn't like him because it felt like he was taking you away from me. But it's not like you're someone we can fight to have. And besides, you'll probably just leave us if that happens. Thalia pats him, you're such a sweetheart. But Aegis, you don't have to be so nice to everyone. They might take you for a pushover. Aegis asks, what's a pushover? Thalia explains, it's someone who is so kind that they'd give anything for others. Then are you telling me not to be nice? Aegis asks. She replies, not quite. Thalia thinks perhaps this was too much for Aegis to understand at his age. Being nice has nothing to do with being a pushover in the first place. She points out, you can be as nice as you want. I'll stop you if you ever go too far. Aegis grins, okay. But the only person I'm a pushover for is you, Tilly. I like you the most, aside from mother and father. She advises, still, don't become a pushover even if you find someone you like more than me. Aegis laughs. Don't worry. That's never going to happen. He turns saying, let me make things right with Yen and bring him back. The three of us can make a snowman together. She agrees, okay. Let's make one together. As Aegis runs off to find Ryan, Thalia thinks, getting rid of some tutors wasn't good enough. People will treat Yen well during the year that he's here, but everything will go back to how it was once he returns to his kingdom. Can someone please tell me what I should do? Inside, little Ryan is sobbing his heart out, and Roxana is trying to comfort him. As Aegis approaches, Ryan turns to him. Ryan wipes away his tears. He staggers toward Aegis, completely devastated about pushing him. He says sorry. He's so ashamed. I'm sorry I pushed you. But Aegis tells him, it's all right. He even reaches out to hold Ryan's hand. Aegis asks Yen, do you like Tilly? Ryan, still a bit teary-eyed, says yes. Aegis responds, I like Tilly as well. Ryan replies, I know. Aegis adds, but the way I like Tilly is a bit different from you. The way I like her is in a special way. Ryan is confused. In a special way? Aegis elaborates, yes, when you like someone in a special way, you marry that person like the Duke and the Count, and like my father and mother. The Countess and the maid get shocked. Ryan is processing all of this. Aegis continues, although the way we like Tilly is different. You still like Tilly, and Tilly likes you too. Ryan is shocked Tilly said that she likes me. Aegis confirms, yes, Tilly likes us too. So, you're not going to lose her just because I'm there. But rather, Tilly might end up hating us if we keep fighting. Ryan panics for a moment. Aegis adds, and just like Tilly, I also like you too. Actually, I liked you from the moment I met you, but I wasn't friendly because I thought you liked Tilly in a special way too. Aegis smiles, I won't be like that from now on, so how about we make up and become friends? Ryan repeats, friends. Okay. Aegis is overjoyed. Ryan thinks, I see. I can just become friends with Aegis as well. Ryan, still a little shy, asks, "Does Tilly like you in a special way too?" Aegis answers, not yet. That's why I'm trying to get Tilly to like me in a special way. Can you help me now that you're my friend, Yen?" Ryan excitedly agrees, "Okay." Aegis declares, "Then let's go and apologize to Tilly for pulling her arms. After that, the three of us can make a snowman together." Ryan responds, "Sure." They both rush off to find Thalia, leaving Roxanne and maid watching in amazement. Roxana asks, "What just happened?" The maid smiles, "I guess. They made up?" Roxana exclaims, "My goodness, Prince Aegis is really something." The maid agrees, "I know. He's going to be a tough one to handle when he grows up." Roxana asks, "You mean for Tilly?" The maid shakes her head, "No. For whomever the prince ends up falling in love with," she adds, "I doubt a 5-year-old's first love is going to last." Later that night, Thalia is tucked into bed between her parents. "Tilly, did you have fun today?" Roxana asks. Thalia sleepily replies, "Yes, I did." Roxana tells her, "Now that you're 5 years old, you should go to bed on time. It's quite late already." Thalia protests, "But why?" "It's only a day difference." Roxana laughs, "Ha ha ha." Roxana pats Thalia and says, "Tilly, thank you for being our daughter." Thalia responds, "Yes, thank you for being my parents too." As Thalia drifts off to sleep, she thinks, "My body feels really heavy for some reason. Do I have a fever? I hope it's not a cold. I should be fine after a good night's sleep, since I've been baptized." Then, a mysterious voice says, "No, you won't be fine." Thalia wakes up startled. "Who's there?" An older person, the image of Ryan, appears in her room. "No need to be alarmed. This is all just a dream anyway. You wouldn't have met me if you hadn't used your powers." Thalia asks, "Why? What are you?" She says after looking at him, "Yen." He continues, "No. That child you love dearly is probably sleeping in his bed." Thalia, scared, asks then, "Who are you?" He replies, "Don't worry. I can't do anything right now. Like I said, this is only just a dream. Today is your 5th birthday, right? Happy birthday." Thalia responds, "A happy birthday, even in my dream, huh? Thanks anyway." He says, laughing, "I came to tell you something as a gift." Thalia asks, "What is it?" He replies, "You'll be in a lot of pain once you wake up." Thalia asks, "Why?" He explains, "Because you used your divine power when your body hasn't fully developed yet. You've made it snow in autumn." Thalia asks, worried, "I used divine power to make it snow?" He continues, "As you know, baptizing the children of the 3 families is an awakening that allow them to use divine powers. Divine powers which we call special abilities. As a result, they make you slightly healthier than regular humans." Thalia says, "That's true, but..." She thinks in her mind, "There's no way the divine power would be awakened in me. Besides, there is no special ability that can control the weather." She asks, "Even if you were baptized?" The person replies, "You're aware of the price you must pay when using divine power within a human body, right?" Thalia asks, "Vitality." He confirms, "That's right, and the greater it becomes, it starts to take away your lifespan. So, don't make any unnecessary wishes. Until you at least become an adult." Thalia protests, "But it wasn't a sincere wish." The person replies, "God must have given you powers, because it was necessary." She asks then, "What are you?" He responds, "I'm not going to answer that." And with that, he remains silent. The next day when she opened her eyes, Thalia coughs, covering her mouth. Looks like she's still feeling under the weather. Her nanny asks, "My lady, would you like some water?" The nanny reassures her, "The doctor said it's just a cold, so you'll be fine after a good sleep." But Thalia thinks to herself that Roxana and Julian are probably worried sick, especially since she's never been sick before. She rises up to take the glass of water. "Where are the others?" She manages to cough out. The nanny replies, "The Duke and the Count are at the palace, and Prince Ryan is waiting outside the door." Thalia is surprised. "Outside the door?" The nanny explains, "I told him not to come inside since he might catch a cold as well, and he hasn't left since." Thalia sighs, "Tell him to go back and that he can play with all of my toys." The nanny says, "All right. As for you, you need to get some sleep, my lady." Thalia lies back down, exhausted. She recalls the person in her dream. As you know, baptizing the children of the 3 families is an awakening that allows them to use divine powers which we call special abilities. As a result, They make you slightly healthier than regular humans. She thinks, although that's not what I created baptisms for. Whatever, I don't know. Meanwhile in the palace, Peleus knocks on a door. He steps in and says, Yuri, how long are you going to lock yourself up in here? Julian asks, do you remember the youngest person who had an awakening? Peleus responds, yes, your ancestor. Julian agrees, that's right, the 8th Duke of Remitio. He had an awakening at the age of 10 and died at 22. Julian continues, it's an obvious fact that he died at such an early age due to the excessive use of his special abilities. Peleus is worried. Are you saying that your daughter's sickness is related to her abilities? He questions, could it be that you found something? Julian responds, I don't know about the Celis family, but among the Remitio and Acer families, the only ones who have had an illness were those with special abilities. Peleus is concerned, but Thalia is only 5. He thinks if special abilities are awakened within the generation of our children, then that would mean the return of the evil spirit is near. He turns in denial, no, nothing is for certain yet. While leaving, he adds, why don't you return and spend time with her, instead of locking yourself up in here? He adds, I'll send a letter to the prophetessa. They might know something. Peleus says, you're done with work, too, so go home. Julian just covers his face, looking tired. When Julian returns home, he went to Thalia. She still feverish calls out, Daddy. He arrives at her bedside. Yes, Tilly. Daddy's home early today. Thalia is so happy. She grins. He asks Tilly, are you in a lot of pain? You usually nag me when I come early. Thalia says, no, I'm fine. He asks again, really? She replies, I was in pain earlier, but now I'm okay. The nanny confirms, she just had a meal and took her medicine too. Thalia slides back in bed and says, Daddy, buy cookies for me. I want some. You know the ones I like, right? You used to bring me a box full of cookies when I called you and asked for some. Julian is surprised. Called me? What does she mean? Thalia mumbles in her sleep, but this time, make sure you buy 2 of each, okay? Mom always buys one for each of us. It's not the number that counts. There has to be 2 of the same kind. Her nanny suggests the medication must be quite strong. She was fine before she took it. He says to the nanny, I suppose I should go to a sweet shop before Tilly gets up. The nanny replies, Your Grace, please take the prince with you. Julian asks the prince. The nanny says, he was waiting outside the door all morning, and now he's with Lady Loina. I'm sure he must be bored. Julian took Ryan with him. Outside at the sweet shop, Julian is standing with Ryan. He thinks, when Tilly said each of us, was she referring to Ryan? He says, Yen. He whispers to Ryan, we have to look like father and son in public. Ryan nods and asks, what did Tilly say she wants to eat? Julian responds, well, she asked me to buy what she likes. Ryan is all serious, but Tilly likes everything. But Julian chuckles. Ryan points out some sweets. Then, this one and that one. Julian reflects, he's only just a child. Yet the queen sent so many people to the empire to keep an eye on him. He'll be fine while he's here, but he'll have to return to the kingdom eventually. Should I just adopt him so that he can stay with us? Julian too must sigh, to think I would even consider something like this. Back in her room, Thalia is looking at all the cookies. She was surprised, what are all these cookies? I asked him to buy all of these. The nanny explains, yes, it was when you woke up to have lunch and took your medicine. Thalia asks, but wasn't I asleep the whole time after that? The nanny says, I think the medicine had a strong effect on you. Thalia replies, right? She eats a cookie and thinks, ugh, I'm still not feeling so well. She again recalls her dream, because you used your divine power when your body hasn't fully developed yet. You've made it snow in autumn, so don't make any unnecessary wishes until you at least become an adult. God must have given you powers, because it was necessary. Thalia thinks, I can't believe divine powers makes my wishes come true. He said that God must have given my powers because it was necessary. I was born as the lead character's older sister because I had to be baptized in order to use divine powers. The reason why I have divine powers is to save someone. Just when I wished that someone would appear and show me the way, someone really did appear. A wish, huh? Well, that sucks. What I had truly wished for didn't even come true. Later, when she gets well, Thalia was so excited to see Aegis and Ryan. Aegis. Ryan. Let's play. Tilly. They tackles her into a hug. She laughs, haha, what were you two doing? Aegis and Ryan hold up a drawing. Thalia takes a look at it. Ryan says, "We drew you a picture so that you would get better soon. We were going to bring it to you when we were done with it." Thalia smiles, "I'm all better thanks to you." Ryan questions, "You're not in pain anymore?" Thalia confirms, "Of course. It was just a cold. I'm all better now." Both Aegis and Ryan were still concerned and worried. Thalia notices something is off. "What's wrong? Aren't you happy? We can play now." Aegis adds, "That's a good thing, but Tilly, are you going to be sick again?" She replies, "Well, colds are common, so it's likely that I could catch it again." Ryan points out, "But we've never had a cold before." Thalia tries to explain, "Well, that's true, but being baptized doesn't mean you never get sick." Aegis shares some gossip he overheard. They say it's only when special abilities are awakened that you get sick. "So people were saying that you may have had an awakening." She asks, "Who said that?" Aegis replies, "Servants at the Imperial Palace." Thalia thinks to herself, the reason why a member of the three families gets sick is not because of the awakening. It's when they overuse their abilities and their vitality is exhausted. Thalia whispers, "This is actually a secret, but it's because I made a wish." Aegis asks, "What did you wish for?" Thalia answers, "For everyone to be happy." Ryan and Aegis look at her sadly. "But we're not happy if you're sick, Tilly." Thalia knows she can't tell them the truth. "Still, this is the only thing I can tell them for now." She says, "Someday, everyone will be happy." Aegis asks, "Everyone?" She confirms, "Yes, everyone." Thalia thinks to herself, because this is meant to be a happy ending. I should make a wish again soon. I'm not particularly fond of it, but I need to meet him again and confirm the things I do not yet know. Later, Julian is leaving for a trip. He says to little Loina, "Loina, Daddy's going to be gone for a little while. Don't cry because you miss me, all right?" Roxana holds eighth baby. Loina makes a ba sound. Julian then turns to Thalia and kneels. He says, "This trip is really important. Can you give me a kiss to cheer me up?" Thalia refuses, "No." Julian teases and glances at Ryan then. Ryan kisses Julian instead and Julian laughs, "Haha." Julian turns to Thalia, "Tilly, will you give me a kiss when I'm back?" Thalia says, "Ugh, I don't want to." Julian winks, "I bet you will when you find out what I did during the trip." Later that night, Thalia wakes up suddenly. "Oh, when did I fall asleep?" The same person stands near. "It looks like you're having foolish thoughts. I told you not to make any wishes. Do you really wish to die so badly?" Thalia insists, "I didn't wish it yet." He retorts, "But you were going to." She steps closer. "Then what do you expect me to do?" "You said a bunch of things I couldn't understand, then disappeared." The person sighs, "I don't actually know that much either. The only thing I can do is wait as well. I just came to see you the last time because I found out that you can use divine powers. If you thoughtlessly use your powers with an undeveloped body, you might just drop dead one day." He continues, "So promise me you won't use your powers until you're at least 15. You must value your life, don't you?" Thalia softly nods and thinks, "Actually, not really." She asks, "So, what is it that you're waiting for?" He answers, "Destiny. But then you appeared. Someone who wasn't a part of it. Let me ask you the same question you asked me the last time. Who are you? Who are you? To be able to use divine powers while not being confined by destiny. Answer me." Thalia explains, "I don't know either. All I know is that I have to save someone. But I don't even know who I'm supposed to save." The person states, "If you don't know who you're supposed to save, then it must mean that you can choose whom you wish to save." Thalia asks, "I can choose." She declares, "In that case, I want to do my best not to change destiny." The person questions, "Even if Ryan's meant to be betrayed by someone he trusts and eventually meets death?" Thalia replies, "But he doesn't die." The person continues, "It's the same thing, don't you think? An evil spirit possesses him, and he puts the world in danger." Thalia begin, "But at the end." The person interrupts that he gets saved? Is that really good enough? Thalia sadly says, "I'm sorry." He asks, "Why are you the one apologizing?" She says internally, "Because I'm the one who created the evil spirit and brought destruction upon this world." She says, For you, I'll." He again interrupts, "No, there's nothing you can do for me. I wasn't trying to change destiny in the first place. I was only interested for a moment because I met someone who wasn't a part of the plan. I just got my hopes up for a brief moment." Thalia thinks, he's been watching me for 5 years, yet he calls that a brief hope. She asks, "You said I get to choose who I save, right? Then, is there something I can do for you, even if it's small?" He asks then, "Will you become my friend?" Thalia gets surprised. "Your friend? He replies, yes, because you're the first person that doesn't hate me. And for some reason, I like you. She relents, sure. I don't see why not. She adds, you never told me who you were, but I'll tell you my name. Thalia smiles. My name is Mir Yun. Yun is my last name, and Mir is my first name. Mir means dragon, by the way. The person responds, that's a cool name. He smiles and adds, Mir.